Eating out is supposed to be an enjoyable time, and there are many factors in whether or not you have that enjoyable experience. Sometimes these factors are summed up into a little thing that we like to call a review and/or rating. Believe it or not, we can tell a lot from these reviews, and they can be very vital to your restaurant's success. As much as we wish that people only wanted to share the good, the truth is consumers who have had a negative experience are 2 to 3 times more likely to leave an angry review over consumers that have had a positive experience. Have you ever had a long, draining day where all you look forward to is a warm meal or a refreshing drink to relax? This was exactly the case for a group of college students back in 2020. After class, these students often found themselves trying out new restaurants around town just to hang out and it be a source of relaxation after a long day of classes. It wasn't long before they began dreaming up what a perfect restaurant would consist of. They got to thinking and they knew that opening their own restaurant wasn't in the cards for them. So the question kept popping into their minds, what could we do to better the restaurants that we already know and love? So after graduating in 2020, they put Cuisine Consulting Incorporated into full swing. Cuisine Consulting quickly became a multi-million-dollar company within 2 years, and 40 states across the US have active restaurant consultants that work for Cuisine Consulting. Cuisine Consulting offers top-tier consulting for restaurants all across the country so that every restaurant can reach its full potential and be its best. My name is Maggie Miles, and I'm one of those college students mentioned earlier. I work as one of the leading consultants for Cuisine Consulting Incorporated. While in college studying business administration and marketing, I worked as a waitress and manager at Sam's Steakhouse. During my years working at Sam's, and from my experience as a patron, I started to realize that restaurants around just weren't reaching their full potential. I began doing my own research to find out what customers had to say about Sam's and what I could do about the issues at hand. I quickly became passionate and knew that other restaurants needed my expertise. Samaloka is a restaurant located in Carrollton, Georgia. Samaloka is a Brazilian steakhouse, making it very unique to its area. It's a mixture between an upscale but still family-friendly restaurant. After doing research for this restaurant, I did not find any background information as to its history. Samaloka doesn't really have any true competitors around its area, speaking to the uniqueness of its brand. But Longhorn Steakhouse is really the only other steakhouse in Carrollton. Samaloka has received many raving reviews. This customer said, amazing service, amazing food. We came in 15 minutes before the kitchen closed, still 100% service like we were the first customers in the door. This being able to come into a restaurant no matter the time of day, whether it's right after opening or right before close, and still receiving quality service speaks volume.
This reviewer says, tonight was our first time eating at Samaloka and it was excellent. Every single thing we ordered, 4 of us, was great. Quality food, well prepared, and nicely presented. Our server was exceptional and the atmosphere was great. I love that we have an upscale restaurant right here in Carrollton. We will definitely be back. Notice how she drew attention to the fact that they will definitely be back. That is the main thing that you can hope for in this industry. You want a returning customer base to keep that constant flow of income and keep that reputation up.
This customer's review was rather lengthy, so for time's sake, I'll draw attention to the second part. I'm gluten and dairy free among other allergies. They're always accommodating, have a plentiful gluten-free menu, service is always amazing. If I ever remember to take a pic before I dive into my food, I will. But once that food is in front of me, all goes out the window. We love reviews like this, and that's just a part of all the good things that this patron had to say about Samaloka. But having a menu that caters to almost every person is so important. And it ensures that anybody can come and feel welcome and be able to sit and enjoy a meal. As much as we would only like to talk about the strengths, some customers have pointed out some weaknesses. This customer said, Got our drinks 30 minutes after being sat. Waitress came only once to give us refills. Food took an hour and a half to come out. And so unreasonably slow service seems to be among those. Another reviewer explains that the general manager, Mike, seems to have been very hateful towards his customers and his employees, and that left the customers themselves feeling disrespected, unwanted, and they didn't want to return. This reviewer drew attention to a lack of authenticity in Samba Loca. He said, "Let's preface this by saying I'm Brazilian. This is not a Brazilian restaurant. This is an American take on Brazilian food." He goes on to explain that overall his experience was great, but as they present themselves as a Brazilian steakhouse, he would have liked to have experienced more true and authentic Brazilian culture traits. How customers are treated is almost just as important as how great the food is. Customers are almost guaranteed to not return after being treated with disrespect or being treated by rude servers. Not only that, but how employees treat each other in the workplace shows to customers. Cuisine Consulting recommends putting staff training in place with an emphasis on customer service. Also, having team building exercises would help to strengthen the team. Managing wait times can be one of the most difficult parts of the restaurant business. Cuisine Consulting recommends researching and keeping a database of the busiest times of the day for Samba Loca individually, and making sure that the restaurant is completely staffed during those times. Along with that, always keep an open line of communication with the patrons and be honest about the wait times. One of the best characteristics of Samba Loca is the uniqueness of bringing a piece of Brazil to Carrollton. Cuisine Consulting recommends running with this idea and doing everything that Samba Loca can to incorporate that Brazilian culture. Whether that be in the decor, in the music, in the food, and everything. Create a budget and give the restaurant a mini makeover. Now, returning to this review, the customer says that their family will never return after their experience. A lack of self-control and communication skills leads to the loss of business. And bouncing right off of that, no employee deserves to be mistreated. If employees do feel disrespected from other employees and or management, you run the risk of them quitting and you becoming too short-staffed, possibly too understaffed to continue operations. Being a Brazilian steakhouse, Samba Loca has every opportunity to be the most unique restaurant around. By lacking true authenticity, they run the risk of just becoming like every other restaurant. So what's stopping customers from going to the restaurant just down the street?
I know we've covered a lot of information, so here I've inserted a SWOT analysis chart that goes over the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that we've already discussed.
In conclusion, analyzing online reviews is critical for the success of your business. Openly seeking criticism and positive feedback shows that you care about your customers and helps you determine what changes need to be made to take your restaurant from good to better to best. We have thoroughly enjoyed working as a consultant for Samba Loca Brazilian Steakhouse. Hopefully, through our recommendations, the process of building a stronger business will come with ease. For any questions or concerns, you can reach us by our phone number, 123-456-7890, or by email at cuisineconsultinginc@gmail.com. Lastly, we hope you enjoyed this little takeaway item and use it as a means to spread the word about Cuisine Consulting. Do not hesitate to contact us for any questions. Thank you for your time.